So first, MRT stand for My Robot Time, and 3 mean we are dealing with the version 3 of their product at this point in time. They have a website. You can go and visit to see other products that they do. The MRT3 system come at 4 levels that you can see here. 1 and 2 kind of go together, and they actually sell a combination box where you can just buy 1 and 2 together also, and that's the one we're going to have for our series of work. 3 and 4 are down here. They kind of go together also, and the detail of that will come up in the rest of the presentation here. Level 1, or the foundation level, you can build 15 projects in it. You can see some of that picture here. The foundation level emphasizes the, shall we say, the mecha or mechanical side of the robotics. Okay, and in here you can build some unmotorized project, and you can do some motorized project also. They gave you 2 direct current motor here. It had a remote control receiver and a remote control itself. They give you 2 pack of batteries of about 6 volts. So you're running at 6 volt. It does come with a controller, and it has it's pre-coded with specific mode or specific little bits of program already built in, and you cannot change that. In this foundation level, they use no sensor, and you can only do remote control of the various projects. In level 2, it has 9 projects. It's still using the pre-coded program on the controller, and they start introducing IR and touch sensors. So they give you 2 touch sensors, 3 IR sensors, and then also 1 speaker. Because we're using sensor now, you can see that in some of the examples, some project, you can start having a mix of remote control, and some will show you autonomous behavior. In level 3, or they call it intermediate level, you can do 10 projects. So here you can see. This time, they give you a second controller, and this one is user programmable. And we'll get into the detail. You can see it open up new pins and new connector here. And we'll get into detail a little bit later. Of course, now you can do program custom code. And they give you the first servo motor, 2 more LEDs, and 1 light sensor. And with this project, with this level, you start using some nuts and screws. So you need to have a screwdriver. In previous project, the hardware all snap in. There's no screwdriver required. At the level 4 or advanced level, you can do 9 projects as seen here. Of course, you keep on continuing to be able to do your own custom code. They give you the second servo motor, they give you a buzzer, and they give you a microphone. And all these actuator and sensor are using more battery power, but they give you some extra batteries. So now you'll be running at 9 volt. Let's look at the main board. And you notice I say board in plural. As far as I can tell, they're all based on the Atmel FVR chip. This is the main board for levels 1 and 2. It has some software pre-coded in it, and you can see that the way they're done is this way. You can see there's on-off power button. There is a remote control channel setting you can do using a dip switch. So there are 3 dip switches. So that means you can have a combination up to 8 channel. The right DC motor goes here, the left DC motor goes here. And the way they designed it, you can see that the RC receiver is in a very specific slot. And then you have like speaker or output sensor. You can put at certain places. But you can see that design so that all the input sensors that we say are on the left side of the controller. They have a button for the mode selection. Like when it starts, an LOD would display the actual different piece of pre-made code that they have in there. Like for example, this one is some kind of code number 8, pre-code or mini code number 8, and this is mini code number 3, depending on what kind of robot you built and what kind of feature you built. And then there's also a button to click the program start. So notice there's an on-off button separate from when the program starts or not. On the level 3 and 4, they give you a different controller. And at first glance, it looks the same, but they're not. So first, they open up a PC communication port because you have to be programming on the PC side and download your code, the user programmable code down here. So you can see that that's where the connector is. They also open up more connectors or more port. So the way they design is all the input, and there are 6 input channels on the right side here. So you have your remote control connector goes there, your light sensor, your IR sensor, your touch sensor all stay on the right side. The right DC motor and left DC motor still in their previous places. On the left side, therefore, there are also 6 output channels, and that's where you lay out your servo motor, LDD sensor, and speaker and stuff like that. You need to. Regarding the hardware itself, they have lots of plate. They design the same thing, all snap-in type of construction, you can see. They have some special pieces like triangular and shaft block and crank block and a kind of rudimentary gear block in the level 1 and level 2. So you can see you can build very good 3D looking robot here. They have lots of assortment of wheels, gears, and tracks. You can see they have all kind of wheels. They have several sizes of gears, so you can design a very complex gear train. They have sprocket and caterpillar track pieces, so you can build tracks. Of course, they also have special adapter to put the plate together or 90 degrees, you can see. For the advanced kit, they have some more nuts and screw that you can use. Of course, to connect all these drives, they have a shaft, different size of shaft, and bushings as needed. So with the previous parts, you can build fairly complex gear train, and you can build very realistic caterpillar drive. You also can do steering wheel, a rack and pinion type. And then we also have, like this one here, is the forklift, and the forklift actually go up and down. So they have a mechanism built in inside, so fairly sophisticated. Regarding MR3 software, I think it's the first one I've seen a XML-based GUI, and I will have a separate presentation to go into the detail of the GUI and how to do software coding itself. Because it's made on XML, I think this is the first time I've seen that a GUI that have collapsible code. Like for example, you see in this little original, it's the same piece of code between the 2 pictures here. And this one here, you can see that when you have a piece of code that say something about the IR sensor in the input one, if it sends something, the input 2 sends something, and you see a closed form, you see the plus sign here. If you click on the plus, it will open up that you're showing that there's actually more detailed code inside. And you see it's relabeled all its line item for you. So this is great for top-down programming.